Welcome to the hell do I call this show? I forgot already. Anyway, it's 5. Oh, the wrong news at 5. There we go. And this is your Congressman Wolf Alexander getting ready for some more walking here around Washington Square Park while I do radio. I've already used up my off-road ticket for today, so I can't go onto the grassy area, which is more fun for me. But oh well. So what's happened fun today? Well, you can catch all that on the TV version of this, which is on TikTok sometimes and YouTube always, and because they ban certain stuff because of the music in the background. And you can hear here, though, some jokes about our fair not really leader and his weirdo son. What does she call him? Odd. Yeah. He's at the Stern School of Business, and I have no idea where that is, and I don't really care, because I wouldn't go to the business school when I was at Penn, so why would I go over here? Although they did have a nice cafe at Huntsman. I went in that sometimes. Anyway, so that's where he is, I guess. This has got to be some kind of house drama, because Donald wants his son to, expand and join clubs and stuff. And Melania says, no, let him take his time. And, what's his name, Barron? Spelled with too many R's, because, that's what Donald Trump was thinking. He, what was I saying? I don't know. He's such an easy target, non-violently and legally, humorously, that I'm unable to not say anything. So, let's see what else. Oh yeah, I'm working on getting a much better display flag. If you've seen my black flag around the circle in the middle of the park, then you might know that the writing is not particularly good. So I'm going to get a brighter color flag with better font, so that'll be able to be seen from at least 3 times as far away. That'll help, and I'm thinking of more exciting things to do, which can include anything that sounds like fun. I planned a 26-mile walkathon from the top of the Bronx to Coney Island, but I'm not ready to do that yet. I think it'd be more fun with like 10,000 people all complaining about Donald Trump. You want to do something? That would not be bad. But still, the point is, complaining is a waste of time, including by me. So what I'm doing is I'm running for Congress, and I'm going to throw them all out. One difficulty when doing this is I don't know how much to tell a new audience and how much to tell not, because, I don't want to have to keep repeating myself for my usual listeners, but on the other hand, I don't want new listeners to not know some of the important things. But that's usually findable, so I want to try to keep mostly new information. For example, I'm going back to the racetrack rather than walking around the circle, because I can go faster. Although the circle is much more visible, I might return to that in a minute. Anything is possible when you're flying with your congressman in the flying tent. The flying tent. If you remember Stephen Colbert's show, he used to have Better Know a District and would say, the fightin' whatever, the fightin' tent. Well, he's not doing it anymore, and now I am, so it's the flying tent, because I'm always high and walking around, which I call flying. So, there you go. It's more fun anyway. Who wants to fight when you can fly? Although sometimes, well, no, I still haven't gotten into a fight, which is good. I don't want to get into one as much as I would enjoy kicking some man's ass, but I don't really want to. So, usually a good growl can scare them, and that's actually more fun. So, because that's embarrassing, and I still win. So, that's what I want to do to Mr. MAGA as soon as he'll get on camera with me, which I doubt he ever will. But anyway, I look forward to things like more shares. And at least tell your friends. You don't have to share because, it's dangerous. It's subversive. So you don't want to do that in public. But definitely tell your friends to check me out. And you'll see that I'm the real congressman already, and I haven't even won. So it's just because I know what to do, and I'm going to do it when I win. Unlike Dan Goldman, who doesn't know what he's doing today, except trying to make more money for his family, which is not unreasonable until you get to $1 billion. But that's pretty much all he cares about, is enriching himself and those he cares about, which is not you, almost certainly. So, he plays a half-decent character, someone who's supposed to care, but anybody can do that. Look at all the bad politicians, which are really just actors with extra intention, and they're very sad. And yeah, so if you aren't and live in the 10th district, you can run for office under my shield of non-participation but protection, sort of. Like, I'm not going to actively bother your campaign. You can do it however you want, and that's much better. But if you need my assistance of any kind, then I shall arrive with the metaphorical cavalry. Except I don't really like horses too much. They were very large, and I was only on one once, and it was not pleasant. Felt too far from the ground. So, much more fun to walk around. Plus, you don't have to care for a horse if you just use your legs. You can care for those, and you'll stay younger. And other fine things. So at Washington Square today, there was a gentleman who was screaming and yelling at passersby about I don't know what. And I listened to him for half an hour while I sat there and smoked and watched this protest which was going on. And at one point I got a little tired of it because I could tell he was bothering people. So I decided I was going to fix the problem. But it turned out that I already given him my card the day before, and he might actually live in the district. So I didn't want to be flat out mean to a definite voter. So I said stop tomorrow. So maybe when I return tomorrow or on the way home, I cannot imagine that he would have enough energy to keep screaming for 4 hours in this cold, but who knows? And anyway, and I did not see the yellow tape replaced up on Broadway between it was like 36th and 39th. It must have been security guards at one of the businesses that didn't want passersby walking in front that kept putting this tape up for inclement weather that didn't exist. So I kept ripping them off like 3 days in a row, and finally today they were not put back. So that was an improvement. Let's see what else. The protest today at Union Square, I'm not really sure it was about unions because I saw a 4-letter designation, but I didn't talk to any of them because I was only boys on the microphone, so what the hell did I care? Just the usual stuff. I don't know what they were complaining about, probably low wages and bad working conditions, as they've been complaining about for 100 years, although in the 40s and 50s they did a lot better. Why? Because the president at the time was Harry Truman, and he liked unions. As long as there wasn't a major war on, I'll give you that one, but he really liked them otherwise, and gave them all the power they could come up with. And that's why unions were really strong in the 40s and 50s and 60s. So, the problem is that since then, it's not worked out well for them, especially under the Republican president. So, now they have no power practically, unless there's some major strikes at a publicly visible thing, like Starbucks is gaining some momentum, which is good, but it's not even close to the mass strike movement that would really be effective. A week of a general strike, like I know they're planning a general strike in May or something for one day. Whoop-de-fucking-do. That's not really going to do anything. People have to be willing. A point of a strike is to be willing to lose your wages now in return for higher wages later. It's a risk, especially when there's no pressure coming from the other direction. Like Theodore Roosevelt was also sort of pro-union, and he helped push them the other direction a little bit more than the previous Gilded Age presidents had done. So that was helpful. But right now, the president hates unions. Donald Trump absolutely hates unions because he's been dealing with them his whole life, building his ugly buildings. And now, they are in his presidential attack direction. So he's going to punish them, whatever he can come up with. And because he's got the Supreme Court and Congress, he can do whatever he wants. Almost. Now, some middle judges and civil servants and whatever can hold the line and slow things up for a day or two. But the march of MAGA is going to continue until they're voted out of office. So, that's the only way. Unless you want to have a real revolution, and as I continue to say, no, I do not. Because a real revolution would make this pleasant afternoon in the park not so pleasant. Be fucking idiots with drones and bombs going off and all kinds of crap, and no, I don't want to be Ukraine. No, thank you. I hope Vladimir Zelensky does something other than just flat out give in, but I can't tell him what to do because I don't want to send him any more stuff either. I guess no war would be better. I mean, does it really fucking matter where the line is as long as people aren't killing each other? I mean, I guess it does to them, but it doesn't to me, so that's how I feel about Israel and Palestine as well. Just would like them to stop shooting each other, or at least covering it on television. I don't watch TV anymore anyway, so it sort of doesn't matter. But anyway, all those conflicts just need to stop. It's not about who gets what, it's just about them stopping. Because if there's no fight, then whatever the line problem is will be resolved. You notice how there's not a big difference between New Jersey and New York? There's not people shooting over it. That's because there's been peace for a really long time. Therefore, nobody cares what the line is or where it is. But over there, they do. As soon as there's peace for a while, then they'll relax and they won't hate each other quite so much. So that requires a different kind of diplomacy than Donald Trump is practicing, which is do what we say or we're going to bomb the fuck out of you, which is somewhat effective, I guess, but it's still not really solving the problem, which is that they're mad, the other side, and I'm not on either side, that they're not getting what they want, which is autonomy and all that good stuff, which we claim is so important. So, the dilemma is how to force peace upon two peoples who would rather go to war than come up with a good suggestion. So, my suggestion is to just let them figure it out. Whatever, we can have a national vote on that too. Direct democracy, the point is, I want to make this stuff so it's not my decision. It's your decision. Well, not you either specifically, but you collectively get to decide. You get to decide what we do for the Middle East, so we could have a vote on it. Bomb Israel, bomb Palestine, bomb them both. Bomb neither. There could be 4 options, and A, B, C, or D. And you get to pick from your phone. And then the U.S. Air Force does that. How could it be worse than how it's currently? We couldn't possibly pick yes, bomb more than we are now, right? So, I think it's perfectly safe. The American public was deemed incapable of running the country back when it was created. And I think that should be fixed. Because we're a lot smarter now. Certainly because I don't hear about Jesus so much as I did in 1757. But it's still annoying that he still exists. So I like to remove all that crap from government as soon as possible. That is one political group that I am never going to get the support of. The Christian conservatives will hate me for all time, but they're only 10%, and I don't need them for anything. I imagine all religious orthodoxies will not care for me because I'm going to call them all stupid and annoying and in the way. All that God crap is in the way. Oh, I can't do this because of God. Fuck you. Do it, men. I don't want to hear about your religion, boys. Just do what I say. Oh, you males out there, and you won't have to deal with an angrier me. So, my favorite landing place. The grassy area just to the southwest of the circle. Between the cafe and the arch. Oh, that's where I went. I did the American Ninja Warrior course a little bit a few minutes ago. That was fun. There was a park ranger parked there, and I went ahead and did it, figuring, well, it's not illegal. And it was fun. I about slipped and fell down the hill, but I didn't. And it was fun. I would do it again, but again, I don't have a mount for my phone, so I can't do it at the second. But it's much more enjoyable for me to walk on the grass. And right now there's no grass growing, so I can't be yelled at about that. They find every excuse to keep people off the grass because they don't want it to be not grass, and I agree. I definitely don't want carpet everywhere. On the other hand, if you can't go on the grass, then what the fuck is the point of having it? That's when I was in Paris. I was so upset. You weren't allowed on the grass. And the same with Spain. You weren't allowed on the grass. That wasn't Paris, too. It was definitely Spain. And that was really annoying because I'm like, what the fuck are we doing in a park if we can't go on the grass? And there wasn't really a good answer, except to either go on the grass or not. And the person I was with chose not to. So that's why I'm not in a relationship with her. It's much better not to be in a relationship with people who don't agree on philosophical things like, should we go on the grass when it says not to? There's a fence here, which makes it slightly more difficult to climb over, but in general, I don't participate in stupid rules. But I do participate in good, friendly, happy fun, so if you'd like to talk to me, you can please stop by anytime the park, where you clearly see me, and say hi, and I will say hi back. And then we can talk about whatever you want. I'll give you an autograph, or we can go to dinner. I really don't want to go to dinner. That sounds really unfun, but we can hang out in the park. Or do whatever you want. I think that'd be fun. So, That is available until one of you says no to the rest of you. I'm listening to Nelly in the background, which was the only album I had on download. At least YouTube said. I downloaded a lot of albums, and now I don't see them on the list, which doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's what I'm listening to in my hood earbuds, or my hood speaker system, which has been MacGyvered, which means rebel rigged. And that is the story. I need to get some pizza tonight because I got all kinds of good fruit yesterday, so I have healthy dessert and some chocolate too. Although I bought dark chocolate, I thought it said milk chocolate, but I was in the line, and at Whole Foods everything's so crowded and everybody's so eager to get out of there because it's so crowded that I missed reading what the bar said and just grabbed 4 bars of dark chocolate, which is not really my favorite. Which in a way is good because I didn't eat all 4 of them last night. I only ate half of one, so. I love munchies eating, especially plain white bread is my absolute favorite. I could go through a whole loaf and a half of just generic store brand white bread, although it's so unhealthy. Not because of its bread quality, but because of the ingredients of that particular, normally you get at a supermarket. But some, probably organics, are good, so I'll have to binge on one of those loaves next time. But I try to buy healthy stuff whenever I go and not spend that much money, so combination keeps me from buying a lot of junk food. But I try to treat myself for just a little bit of something fun. Although what I want is a whole baker's worth of goodies and 3 gallons of half and half to go with it. I had some cereal last night. That was fun. I haven't had cereal in a while. Although I didn't have a bowl, so I had to do half and half, which is so much better for cereal. If you like cereal and you haven't put half and half in it, I'm sorry, you haven't lived. So yeah, I was doing that without a bowl, which was good enough. So this is good enough. I have had, how long have I been on? Doesn't matter. I am going to mosey on out of here, which is what I said yesterday, and I only want to have one catchphrase, which is over.